Hi, I'm Lynette and welcome. Today is all about Danessa Myricks and her new limited edition Lightwork Volume 3 Infinite Light Palette. It took a while for her to get here, but she finally made it, and faithfully. So I'm going to have timestamps below so you can jump around and see exactly what it is that you want to see. I'm going to be talking about the packaging, details about the palette. I'm showing you swatches, and I'm also going to do 2 eye looks, one on each eye, and then I'm going to talk about my thoughts on this palette and whether or not I would recommend it. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I hope you'll stay for the whole video and watch, and consider subscribing because I do makeup tutorials, hauls, swatches, and reviews every Saturday. Now, before I get all into the details, I just wanted to say that this palette retails for $125, but I got it on Danessa Myricks' website. She was having a 25% off sale at launch, so I was able to get it for $100 with free shipping. And in addition, I also got her mini Lightwork Volume 3 palette and for free. And this one just has the 4 holographic shades that are in the bigger palette, these right here. So these and these are the exact same. So one of them I can give as a gift, and it is gift time because it is holiday time. So I thought that was a good deal. So let's get into the details and the swatches. From Danessa Myricks, this all-over face multi-use palette is curated with 14 out-of-this-world galactic shades in multiple mesmerizing finishes. It does come with a large mirror, 4 holographic powders, which are right here in the center, these 4 large, extremely large pans. Ultra reflective, translucent, prismatic highlighting shades, pressed glitter, multi-dimensional mess-free sparkler, 2 duochrome gels, opalescent creamy spotlights, 2 powder creams, plush powder cream hybrids, and 5 multichrome pigments, ultra chromatic color shifting velvety powders. I'm going to swatch these shadows and pigments by finish, starting with the 2 duochrome gels. Polaris, and this is Spacesuit. Polaris, Spacesuit. And they definitely feel creamy. Next up are the powder creams, Soul and Black Hole. Soul, Black Hole. And these two also feel smooth. Although Soul in the pan, when you touch it, feels more textured, whereas Black Hole feels more smooth. And Black Hole is, it's a creamy matte, and Soul is a burnished or antique gold with some sparkle. Next are the multichrome pigments, which all feels silky smooth. Look how beautiful. Galaxy, Martian, Aurora, and Gaia. Ooh, so beautiful. So Galaxy is a blue turquoise with a purple flip. Martian is like a light blue lilac. Yeah, light blue with like a lilac flip. Aurora is like a pink to purple to peach. It's hard to describe the different colors. And Gaia is like a lime green, emerald green with a bit of like burnished antique gold, maybe a hint of yellow, just really beautiful. And the last multichrome pigment is Solar Rain, which is a gold, yellow, sort of an amber, Spacesuit, the Duochrome gel, and Soul, the powder cream. I don't see any dimension in these two. And then of course the black hole. But the others are definitely have some kind of duochrome, multichrome. So I did want to do some comparison swatches for you. So this is Galaxy from the Danessa Myricks Light Work 3 palette. And this is the blue turquoise to purple flip. And this is Borealis from Divina Cosmetics. And this is Polaris, also from Divina Cosmetics. So I think of these two, Polaris from Divina is the closest to Galaxy from Danessa Myricks, but they're all pretty similar. I should note too that the formula feels very similar too. All three are super silky and smooth. This is Aurora from Danessa Myricks. And this is Australis, also from Divina Cosmetics. And not as similar. And this is Vermilion from Cleona Cosmetics. So not exactly the same with either one of those. This is Gaia from Danessa Myricks, and this is Chromosphere from Divina Cosmetics. And the two are similar in person. I think they look more similar in person than they do on camera. With the Divina looking a little brighter, a little more lime green. And all of the Divina swatches are from the Aurora Flares collection. So in case you were curious of any comparison with indie brands. I realized I forgot to swatch the glitter. So this is Orion. And this is the one pressed glitter in the palette. And she is beautiful. And there is minimal fallout. And now for the holographic powders. Golden Eclipse, Strawberry Moon, Spring Equinox, and Blue Moon. So Golden Eclipse has like a peachy gold flip. Strawberry Moon has a lilac or white, purple, pink flip. Spring Equinox is a green flip. And Blue Moon has a blue flip. Okay, so I've zoomed you in. The makeup is looking real trash today, and the under eyes are looking especially crepey. I am trying out a new product under the eyes, and it's not going well, but I'll come back and talk to you about that in another video. I did already prime my eyes using the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and now we're going to get into this palette. Now, because this palette is all shimmer metallic shadows, I am going to dip into my Blend Bunny Cosmetics Surge palette. This is Juicy, and I'm taking a large Sonia Kashuk, a fluffy Sonia Kashuk blending brush, and I'm going to put that from the outer corner of my eye all the way into the inner corner. And this is called Grunge, and it's this really deep brown, sort of a plummy brown. And I'm going to concentrate that on the outer V area. And now I am going to take the Lightwork 3 palette, and I'm going to go into Black Hole, which is one of the cream powder shades, and I'm going to place that on the outer half of the lid and bring it up a little into the crease. I don't know that I wanted to bring it up that far into the crease, but it's done. It's done now. And as you can see, very pigmented, very easy to apply with a brush. Now I'm going to go into one of the multichrome gels. This is Spacesuit. It's this beautiful orange shade, and it is creamy. It is a gel. It is creamy, and I'm wary of putting this on my eyelid because I am going to overlap it with that black a little bit, because I do have oily eyelids. I do have lines and folds, and so I suspect that this is going to crease pretty quickly. Now I'm going to go right next to Black Hole and take one of the multichrome pigments. This is Solar Rain, and I'm going to place that over the black using my finger. I don't know exactly what I'm doing today, but we're just playing, and look how vibrant that is. Holy moly. And you can see as it overlaps onto the orange, onto that cream, that multichrome gel. And now I'm going to take Soul, that's the other cream powder, and I'm going to place it over, I keep calling it a multichrome gel. It's a duochrome gel. I'm going to put it over Spacesuit, Spacesuit, that duochrome gel, and I'm going to overlap them. And then I'm going to take a small brush so I can be a little more precise, tapping it off because I already have fallout. And I don't know why I did my eyes last and my base makeup first, because this is definitely a palette you don't want to do that with. You really, when you're dealing with this much sparkle and shine, you really want to do your eyes first. Wow. Now I'm going to go back in with that plummy brown matte, the shade Grunge from the Surge palette, and just try and blend it into those shadows, those pigments that I have on the lid. And I'm doing more tapping than I am blending. So I wiped off my brush and I'm going back in with the original crease shade, and I put just a little bit on the brush, and I'm just going to blend. Now I'm going to take Grunge, that plum brown matte yet again, and a pencil brush, and I'm just going to blend that onto the lower lash line. I did get in my waterline. I always seem to do that. And I'm going back into Black Hole, and I'm going to try to keep this very close to the waterline. I tried to, on the lash line, I tried to clean up the lower lash line, but it didn't go very well. And now I'm going to go in with this multichrome pigment Gaia, which when I hold it up in the monitor, I can't even describe what color it is. It looks maybe bronzy, but when I'm looking at it in the pan, it's green. Anywho, I'm going to place it on top of, I wiped off the brush, that same brush, and I'm going to place it on top of this black base and see what it does. I am using it dry. I think I'll just go all the way around with it, which is not what I was planning to do, but and it is easy to pick up, and it is applying well, and I don't see any fallout from it. I am going to do an inner corner, and I'm going to take Polaris, the other Duochrome gel, tap it off a little bit on my hand. Ooh, yes. Wow. And this is the final look. I use the Black Hole as my liner. I just push that into my lash line, and these are the House of Lashes times Sephora lashes in the style Amethyst. And I think, oh my gosh, I don't know if it's translating here on video, but in person it's absolutely stunning. Like the shimmer and the shine, it's so pretty. Okay, on to look number 2. The eye has been primed with the primer potion from when I started this look, so I hope it's still, I don't know if it's still going to have any grip to it. And I'm just going to go in with Black Hole, and I'm going to place that all over the lid. And I'm going to start off with this purple. Then I'm going to take this deeper purple. So this first purple is Stay, and I'm going to see if I can try and blend out the black with it. Yeah, okay, I like that. Now going into that dark purple Covet, and I'm going to concentrate that on the outer V area. I'm also going to tap it onto the matte black. Going into the Lightworks palette, and I'm going to take Galaxy, one of the multichrome pigments. That is just so beautiful. It has this green to blue to purple flip. And I'm going to place that on the outer area here and see what it does over this black. And I'm using my finger. Now I'm going to take Martian on a small flat shader brush, and I am going to tap it off because it does pick up very nicely on a brush. And I'm going to put that here in the inner corner. Again, I'm using all of the shadows dry. And it's so funny because when I'm looking at it in the pan, it looks blue. But as I'm applying it to the eye, it is green. And no fallout. I'm going to go back in with that first crease shade, Stay, and just blend around, although I don't feel like I need to, but I'm going to. I don't know if this is going to work, but this Blue Moon holographic powder, I'm going to tap that in the middle of the lid and see what happens. Now, I did get fallout from that powder. I was using my finger. I didn't tap it off. And I'm not going to be able to clean that up. I'm going to take Polaris, the Duochrome gel, and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line. I am tapping my brush into it, and then I'm tapping my brush onto the back of my hand before I go in and apply. And now I'm going to take Aurora, a multichrome pigment. I'm going to place that on top of. Ooh, I don't think I like that. Oh, I don't like that. Ooh, look what it did to that. Look what Polaris did to that Aurora. Aurora is like the pink to gold. Okay. Now that more of the pink is coming through. Ooh, because over here, I don't know what happened over there. I'm going to go back into the Surge palette. I'm going to take that deep purple. And I'm going to try and put it on that lower lash line a little bit to try and have some continuity. Because your girl just went rogue. And last but not least, I'm going to take Strawberry Moon, one of the holographic powders. And this time I'm going to spray my brush. And this is the final look. I thought I was filming it, but apparently my camera was not on. So my apologies. And this photo does not do it any justice, but it was really gorgeous and reflective. And I'm hoping that you'll see that in the rest of the video. And now I want to take one of these Duochrome creams, Spacesuit. And I'm going to use it as a highlighter. Yes, it is orange. But, you know, we're playing in makeup today, right? So let's just, okay, I think I put on too much. Let's just do it, you know? Let's just do it because it is a face palette. Right? So let's see what it do on the face. And it does blend out with the finger, and that actually is pretty. Look at that, look at that. And it's not like crazy. I'm gonna take my Color Rain sponge and I'm just gonna pat it in, because you know I don't like no real obvious highlight. Look at that. I like it. Subtle. I'm sure you could build it up to be less than subtle, but I like subtle. All right, I'm gonna do the other side and I'll come back with my thoughts. Okay, now what do I think about the Danessa Myricks Light Work Volume 3 Infinite Light Palette? I enjoyed using this palette today. You saw the tutorial. Hopefully you stayed and watched the tutorials. I used all of the multichrome pigments, and I used both of the cream powder shadows and the 2 Duochrome gels, and I did use one of the holographics. Aside from the holographic powder that I used, I didn't experience any fallout with any of the other shadows. The holographic shadows I did, even less when I used it wet in a corner, but definitely when I used it dry, I still have the mess on my face. I did use one of the gels, Space Suit, as a highlighter, and it went on nicely. It blended out nicely with my finger. I did go in afterwards with my makeup sponge and blend it out further. And I think it looks really pretty. It's not too much. It's not like bam in your face. I'm sure you could build it up to where it would be, but it's giving me a nice glow from within orange glow, and I'm feeling it. I did layer, because you know when Danessa does her videos, her live videos on Instagram with this palette, she layers, and you know, she says to play. It actually says in the palette press. It says press and play here, because she suggests you use your fingers to apply, and Danessa Myricks uses her fingers most times when she's applying makeup. So yeah, you press your finger in and then you get to playing. I did use my fingers. I also used a brush. I was really impressed with this powder matte, this cream to powder. Black is really pigmented, but it applied really nicely with a brush, and all of the shadows did with a finger, with a brush, and again, no fallout save for the holographic shadow. And now you know, this palette is $125. It is cardboard, and I don't think it feels cheap. I think it's got a nice weight to it. I do like the textured, like faux leather feel and look to it. It is a little on the thick side, but okay, I don't mind that. And you are getting 14 shadows. 4 of them are really big, 14 pigment slash shadows that you can use on your eye and on your face. You're getting, I think, 5 different formulas within this one palette, and I went back and forth on whether or not to purchase this palette, because I know that I'm not going to use these holographic shadows probably ever again after this video. And I do have a collection of multichromes from indie brands already, from Divina, from Cleona, from Clarity. So, and a lot of these shades, not all of them, I don't think I've found a dupe for like Gaia perhaps in my collection, or Soul's really not a multichrome, it's just a, you know, glittery shadow. I don't know that, maybe not even Solar Rain, I don't know that I have dupes for all of the multichromes in this palette, but you can definitely find dupes, especially with Aurora, Galaxy, Martian. A lot of the indie brands have these multichromes across all the indie brands. If you were to buy them from any of the indie brands, I'm sure they all have shadows that dupe each other, right? That are dupes to these and dupes to each other. So I think I certainly didn't need this palette, you know, knowing that I'm not going to use the 4 biggest shadows in there and that I already have dupes for some of the multichromes in here. I definitely didn't need this palette. I think that if you are someone who doesn't have a multichrome collection or a large multichrome collection, and I mean, you know, $125 is a lot, but when you think about the fact that on average, when you buy a multichrome single from an indie brand, you're going to be spending anywhere from $15 to $21, $22 per eyeshadow, with I think maybe like $17 being the average price. And so that adds up. That's going to add up quickly if you were to put them all into a palette. Also with the indie brands, like Divina Cosmetics is gearing up for their Black Friday sale. They have a new collection that's going to launch on Black Friday, and you know, the whole putting it on your calendar, setting your alarm, making sure you get there immediately so that it doesn't sell out, you know, that you're able to grab it before it sells out in the first 5 minutes. Usually it's going to be a pre-order, and it's going to take, even if it's not a pre-order, indie brands are small, they get overwhelmed. It'll take 4 to 6 weeks. It could take months for you, 3 months for you to get your shadows. I know with Cleona, I think it took 4 months for me to get my eyeshadows after purchasing them. So if you don't have a large collection already, if you don't want to do the Hunger Games when it comes to trying to snag these shadows, and then if you don't want to wait weeks and months to get them, I think this is a really great buy. I really do. And as someone who didn't need it, for all the reasons that I've already stated, I'm happy that I have it. I had a lot of fun playing in it today. Today was my first time using it, getting to know the shadows, the formulas, the pigments, the gels, and I had fun with it. I really did. I like the idea that you do have so many different formulas and you do have so many multichromes all in one palette. And when I open it and I look at it, I feel inspired. I feel like I want to play and create and just, you know, try different combinations and do different things and see how they work out. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do today. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, how they were going to perform, but I think they performed very nicely. I didn't have any trouble with any of the pigments that I used today, and I did 2 looks that I actually like. One that I probably wouldn't normally do if I wasn't trying to, you know, use the different shadows and do something different, and one that I probably would have. And yeah, I really like both. Let me know in the comments which look is your favorite, if you liked either one of them. And what do you think about this palette? Are you planning to get it? Did you get it? What are your thoughts? Do you need it? Do you want it? What are your thoughts about it? I'm happy with my purchase. I definitely think it's something new, something different. And Danessa Myricks is an indie brand. She may be a larger of, you know, when you say indie brands, larger of the indie brands, but she's an indie brand also. She is Black, female owned, and yeah, I have no regrets. If you like this video or found it helpful or useful at all, then please give it a like and consider subscribing. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, bye-bye.